and welcome to our Facebook Live Q&A. My name's Katie and I'm the Marketing Officer here at Global Adventure Challenges, and I'm joined by the lovely Craig, our Operations Manager. So we're here to talk about all things TrekFest. So if you do have a TrekFest question, just put it in the comments below and we'll be able to go through it this morning. So a big thanks to everyone who's already asked questions. Just to get things started, Craig, can you tell us a little bit about TrekFest, when and where it is, the overall feel of the day?
No problem. So TrekFest is our flagship endurance trekking event. There are two routes to choose from. There's the 25-kilometre route and the 50-kilometre route. Anyone that signs up is welcome to walk, jog, run, or whatever they wish to do. The events both start from an event village, and the event village is really the focal point of the event, with facilities available at the bar, catering, camping throughout the weekend and that kind of thing. We encourage everyone to raise money for charity. That's a big focus of the event, and generally because of that, the atmosphere at the event and the sense that everybody's doing something for a positive cause is definitely something that makes the event super special.
Yeah, definitely, and the atmosphere on the day is just amazing,
Oh,
isn't
definitely,
it?
definitely.
Yeah, it's such a great event. So let's answer some of your questions. So Tom would like to know, how difficult is the route?
Wow, it's a difficult question to answer, to be honest, because there's 4 different routes. Obviously, it goes without saying that the 50-kilometre routes are more difficult than the 25. The 25 kilometres routes between both the Peak District and the Beacons are probably similar in difficulty. The 50-kilometre route, however, I would say that the Peak District route is arguably more difficult than the Beacons, whereas the Beacons got one big climb up to the top of Pen y Fan. The Peak District climbs up to the top of Kinder Scout, but then the undulation throughout the event is probably much greater than the Beacon. So I'd say that the 50k peaks is probably the hardest, but what is important to know is that the routes have been designed with everyone who's taking part in mind, and they are definitely achievable by anyone who takes part, as long as they train beforehand.
Yeah, brilliant. So James has asked a question on Twitter, and he'd like to know, is camping included in the cost?
Yeah, so camping is included in the cost, and that's for the entire weekend. So everyone's welcome to turn up on the Friday evening and stay through until the Sunday morning. So that's camping available the night before the trek and the night after the trek. So it certainly makes the trekking part less stressful if you're already there in the morning. You've registered on the Friday night, and then on Saturday take part in the event and then celebrate your achievements at the event village with all your friends and family, and then Sunday morning have some breakfast and go home.
Okay, well, great. So Louise is really interested in taking part in TrekFest, and she has a 15-year-old son who'd also like to take part, and she wants to know, is that possible?
Yeah, definitely. So anyone age 14 and older is allowed to take part, as long as they're accompanied by a parent or guardian, and that's on a one-to-one basis. So one parent or guardian to one person who's between 14 and 18. If they do want to sign up, then the best thing to do is give our team in the office a call, and they'll be able to direct you about how to do that through the registration platform.
Okay, well, so Johnny has asked a question on Facebook, and he'd like to know what things will be there at the event village.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, the event village is definitely a focal point. The main facilities that are available, there's our caterers that will be on site. So there's some food included within the cost of the challenge, which will be available from our caterers, but they'll also be there to provide the other meals that you may wish to have while you're at the event village itself. So they'll be there for Friday night. They'll be putting on a barbecue. Saturday morning there'll be breakfast available, and again on the Sunday morning after the challenge there'll be breakfast available to purchase as well. Any friends and family that come along to the event village are able to purchase food from there also. There is a bar on site, so drinks will be available on Friday evening when people turn up to register, and they'll also be available on Saturday afternoon through into Saturday evening for when people have finished the trek. There'll also be our TP chill out area, which was a massive hit at last year's TrekFest. So somewhere for you to relax pre and post trek. There'll also be masseurs, so there's a free massage included post trek. So once you finish your trek, you can go and get a massage. Then there's all the usual facilities that you might expect at an event village: toilets, showers, camping, access to water, parking, all included within the cost of the challenge.
Well, so basically everything you need right there at the event village.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So, Georgina's asked an important question. What kit does she need to take with her on the trek?
Okay, so there is a kit list that's provided, and when you sign up to TrekFest, you do get, as part of your confirmation email, a link to our participant area. And the participant area is the hub for everything that you need to know about the event. And there's some documents in there which are extremely useful. So one of those is the kit list. The others are information about training and about the more detail on the kit that you might need outside of a list. So advice on the best type of clothing or the best type of boots and that kind of thing. So in terms of the main kit that you need, a broken-in pair of trekking boots is essential. You'll also need a day pack or rucksack, which can carry the essential items or mandatory items that are required on the trek. And they'll consist of really waterproof clothing, warm hat and gloves, a personal first aid kit, sunglasses, sun lotion, that kind of thing. So there's not really any specialist kit that's required for the trek itself, but there are certainly some things that you do need to carry to make sure that you're safe when you're out on the hill. So those things are included in the kit list that you'll get once you've signed up.
Cool, thanks for going over that, Craig. So I just want to say a big welcome to anyone who's just joining us now on our Facebook Live Q&A. We're here talking about all things TrekFest, and I'm joined with Craig, who is our operations manager here at Global Adventure Challenges. So if you do have a TrekFest related question, just put it in the comments below and we'll be able to go through it now. So, moving on to the next questions. Gemma would like to know, will there be any toilets along the route?
Yes, there will be toilets, yeah.
Important question.
Yeah, definitely an important question. There's toilets at all of the checkpoints, so there'll be portaloos available there, and there's obviously toilets available at the event village as well. The checkpoints are about 10 kilometres apart, thereabouts, so within a couple of hours, there's always going to be a toilet facility available.
Well, thanks. So, where are we? So Lauren on Facebook has asked, what support will there be on the route?
Okay, yeah, good question, Lauren. The support on the route, we put marshals out on the route, so our mountain leaders will be out there to be able to support and guide you throughout the event. So they're there to offer a hand with any sort of queries about the route or which direction it should be going, but they're also there to support with any emergencies or any first aid that may need to be given whilst you're out there. The route is fully marked, so you don't need to be able to map read, although we do supply you with a route guide as part of the challenge, so that you can at least keep a track of where you are. There's always some marshals at the back of the route bringing up the rear of the group, so they're there to support as well. There's first aid at every checkpoint. There's snacks and water at every checkpoint, and there's also first aid at the base camp as well. So yeah, you can rest assured you're in safe hands in terms of the route, and then our experienced event management team will be heading up the event behind the scenes and making sure that everyone's where they need to be at the right time.
Fantastic. So Paul has asked a question on Twitter, and he'd like to know, can you raise money for charity?
Yeah, definitely. The charity fundraising element is a massive part of TrekFest, and as I said, it's really what adds to the atmosphere and ethos of the event when people are there, and gives everyone that same sort of common goal. So yeah, you can definitely raise money. There are different payment options available for TrekFest, so do head to our website and take a look. But essentially they fall into two main categories. You can either self-fund and then raise money for a charity, or you can pay a registration fee and then you can agree to raise a minimum sponsorship by a certain time before the charity. If you take that option, then once you've raised that minimum sponsorship, then the charity will pay the remaining balance on your place for the challenge.
Great. So Tony would like to know, where does the event start from? So I know we've got one in the Brecon Beacons and the Peak District, so if you could go over both of those for us.
Yeah, so the TrekFest Beacons event starts in Brecon, and it's based at Brecon Showground, and the Peak District event takes place in Hope Valley, and that is at Hope Showground.
Lovely. Sharon has asked a question on Instagram, and she'd like to know, can her friends and family come and support her?
Yeah, definitely. We welcome friends and family to the event village. It's all part of creating the atmosphere. All of the facilities that are available to anyone taking part in the trek are also available to friends and family. They can buy food, drink, relax at the event village in the afternoon and then cheer people over the line. They're also welcome to come and camp. There is a cost for friends and family to come and camp of £10 per person, but that's for the entire weekend. The only thing that we do say is that we really discourage support out on the route. Due to the areas that we're operating in, access along the route and congestion on the roads is a massive concern for local residents. So we just ask that people sort of support us with that by not supporting en route and focus their attention on the event village and supporting people when they come over the finish line.
Great, so I think we're on to our final question now. So, Hayley's just asked on Facebook, is she able to run the 25 kilometres or is it just for trekking? Is it a trekking?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is primarily a trekking event, but as I said in the initial part of the video, anybody can take part and they can run, walk, jog. If they think they're going to run but actually they end up walking for half it, that's absolutely fine. Our support will be in place throughout the event for everybody.
Well, thanks Craig. Well, I think that just about concludes our TrekFest Q&A. So I just want to say a huge thanks to Craig for joining us
and
answering all your questions. Thanks to you guys for getting involved and sending across your questions. We really hope it's beneficial and we hope to see you at TrekFest 2019. So if you are interested in taking part, if you just head over to trekfest.org.uk, you can sign up there. And it's definitely worth signing up before the end of the month because we have our Easter sale on at the moment. So you can save 25% off the standard registration fee. So make sure that you get signed up before midnight on the 30th of April. So if we haven't answered your question or you're watching this later and you do have a question to ask us, make sure you pop it in the comments and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So thanks for tuning in and we'll hopefully see you at TrekFest 2019.